Is it me or is it you?
I don't know. I don't hear the volume coming through actually on my phone, so that may be. Oh, it's working now. Okay. Paul, you want to start again?
John and Paul Show, brought to you by the Ministry League, ministryleague.com on your website. Also, Ministry League at Ministry League, everywhere on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and the YouTube channel. Don't forget about Facebook. And brought to you by the LJ Church of Christ in LJ, Georgia, the Palisades Church of Christ in the Magic City, Birmingham, Alabama, and the Lads Leaders Program. I am Paul Sperlin. With me as always, John Podine. Producing this wonderful show is Caleb Sampson. This is the John and Paul Show.
Good afternoon. We're going to try this again here with our take two. I hope everybody's having a great afternoon. We are so glad to be here. Paul is excited. He is so excited. Paul, I know why you're excited. I just want to say I know why you're excited.
I know. Go ahead. What?
You're excited because I'm wearing my Mind the Gap shirt.
I love that shirt. I was looking at my picture here that Helen made for us.
Yep.
Reflecting over that, honestly thinking about the plane trip in 2021 and plans that we'll be making, that didn't happen in 2020, but always reflecting, and you're wearing the shirt, man. I just love the folks at Wembley and London, and oh, God.
Yeah, and by the way, if they ever watch this, happy anniversary to VJ and Tanuja. I think it was yesterday they celebrated their anniversary together. I think, what was it? 19 years? Is that
Absolutely.
True? I think it was 19 years. So, hey, happy anniversary. But we are glad that you are here and joining us today. We got a lot of people joining us. Glad to see Raul and Robbie. I can't tell you where I'm going to be.
No!
That's all right. I forgot because we got a new segment on the show.
We got a new segment.
But anyway, Paul, how are you doing? Let's go into that.
I am well. I am doing very well. Living the dream, doing my thing. We had a baptism this week at Palisades, and then got to God be the glory. Wonderful things leading to other Bible studies, and so I'm so excited about that. Just all kinds of things happening, John. All kinds of things. A lot of folks that still right now still hurting from the evidence of the tropical storm Sally, and so We'll obviously get to that in just a little bit. But here in town, things are going pretty well.
Oh, that's awesome, man. We are, and we'll be talking about Sally here in a minute of some things. We had some stuff here in Montgomery, in the capital city, since you call it the Magic City up in Birmingham. We're in the capital city here.
Magical, but whatever.
Yeah, and so we did. But we want to kick off like we said we were going to kick off every show, talking a little bit about exposure, so everybody can kind of keep up with what's going on with that. Paul, go ahead and tell us what's going on with exposure right now.
Exposure is ready to go. We are excited. I just spoke with another one of the hotel representatives just yesterday. It was Wednesday, and securing another hotel. And here's what's helping us. You sending us the email we asked you to send us.
Right.
To let us know you're attending exposure, whether you've been or not, whether you've been coming for the past year, 2 years, 20 years, or whether you've been
23 years,
or whether you've been here before. It's good to send that email. Still send those. Keep sending those. Paul at ministryleague.com, and that helps us to know who's coming, who's not. We have posted the mail out that's not going with a stamp on it. It's on the website, so please go and share the news. ExposureYouthCamp.com. Okay, ExposureYouthCamp.com. Go there. There's a link at the top. Click it. That'll tell you about our speakers. That'll talk about our program. But here's the deal. As we've said before, the details on the distancing, the masking, and the temperature checks, all those things will be up to date to you around registration time leading up to the beginning of the program, because this stuff's going to change every day. We're not going to tell you something today and change it tomorrow. So that's the case. But know that we are on this. Seriously, go to the website, download that stuff. You can print it off and print it off, put it in the youth room, put it in the church building, put it in the foyer. Let folks know Exposure Youth Camp is alive and well, and we cannot wait.
Hey, we are excited. Paul, we really didn't know what the turnout would be. We still don't know what the turnout's going to be, but the excitement that we're hearing from people, you're getting texts multiply. I'm getting conversations multiply. Other of our board members are getting conversations. So it looks like it's going to be good. People are ready to go out. we still know that there's a lot of things going on, and as you said, we will let everybody know, and we'll keep you more up to date. We are less than a month away from our board meeting that's going to take place there in Huntsville, and so especially after that board meeting, we'll be able to let you know a lot more about the information and how it's going to look here in December of 2020.
In conjunction with that, some folks may be confused by this, but Exposure Youth Camp is now partnered with the Ministry League. This happened about a year ago. But you need to know that if you're like, well, I didn't receive my email, you need to check your spam folder. You need to check your trash folder and everywhere else, because if you received an email from Ministry League, it's odds are you got a lot of information for Exposure. So please do that and check that out. So if you're not receiving information on the monthly, then you need to go to ministryleague.com and sign up for the newsletter right on the front page of the website, and you'll get that. And there's going to be Exposure information from now till event. So please use that, do that. And I'm telling you, there's folks that don't know this. If you'll share our show and share this information, tell them the first 5-10 minutes are about Exposure, that they need to know this stuff. Some people aren't getting it. Some people don't watch these kind of events on Facebook Live. So please share this. This is very important that we reach out to everybody.
And also, Paul, if you're not following us on following Exposure Youth Camp on Facebook, go there. That is constantly getting stuff sent out. Instagram, Twitter, you can go to follow at Exposure Youth Camp and follow us there, and you'll be able to find out more information that's going on. But, Paul, we do have some very important news to talk about here. In relation to what just took place this past week here in the South, specifically in Alabama, Florida, and all the things that took place from the storm coming.
In Louisiana, yeah, absolutely.
In Louisiana, yeah.
Yeah, a lot going on, a lot of folks helping out, helping good people out, helping out the church and people that are in the church, but people who have lost their homes. I know we personally, even through some storms we've had, even in Birmingham, we've had people who have had trees fall in their houses that we actually have put people up in hotels here locally. So this is happening all over the place. And so we definitely want to highlight some of the stuff and some information on people that are needing some things right now. And that's
right. For those who do not know, everybody kind of sat and waited for 3 days for Sally to finally get going and get moving on to come on shore. In fact, I see Robbie Daniel joining us. I talked to him the other day, and he was supposed to be in Gulf Shores this week on a vacation, and they couldn't go because of the thing. And so they were actually over here. They were in Atmore, so they probably still got a bunch of weather. But we were sitting there waiting for 2 or 3 days for this thing to finally come on shore. Didn't know where it's going to go. And because it stopped a little bit, it kind of shifted east and really hit our brethren in Mobile and Gulf Shores, Pensacola. That whole area there, the Florida Panhandle and South Alabama, really took a beating. And we have some brethren who are in need.
For sure. And so, as you mentioned, that there is, I want to thank Robbie for starting the watch party here for the John Paul Show. Thank you for that, Robbie. It means a lot. But also, there's a lot of different areas that are being helped with. We don't have the information for every possible location where help is needed or where help is being happening right now. We have one location with a lot of information we do want to share with you that they need right now that we are aware of. Obviously, would you call it ground zero in Louisiana? I know that the Decatur Church of Christ, in conjunction with disaster relief, has made a trip, I think 2 or 3 trips there. Caleb, am I right on that?
Well, they may have gone to the previous storm. They did. Yeah, to the previous storm in Louisiana, yes.
But they're going back this week. They're going back, I think, tonight.
To Louisiana or to South Alabama?
Caleb, give us information on that. Well, give me information, and I'll tell them what you say.
Okay.
Okay, so going to Foley, Gulf Shores, and Summerdale, and as John mentioned, that they already done the trip to Louisiana. But I do know that they made return trips for some products they needed. But so keep that in mind. In the Foley area, the Summerdale Church of Christ, also the Robertsdale Church of Christ, and so we are going to be sharing that information with you right now. There's a list of things that I know the Summerdale Church needs. Up until this morning, they're asking for tarps, I think, to throw over roofs, so to stop the leakage. I said leakage. Sorry, but linking. There you go. There, that's awesome. The leaking that's happening at the church building. Minor damage there at the Summerdale Church, but still leaking happening, and so we need a lot of things. A lot of homes too. So tarps are needed for that. So you see the list. If you're listening to this in audio way, and you're in your car and you're driving, then we'll just go ahead and say these. Just so you, I'll let John do that. He's a much better orator than I am.
I can't hear everything. You know, one thing people may not understand, Paul, because they may look at it and say, well, it wasn't that strong of a hurricane or whatever. People don't understand, you know, kind of growing up in Florida, was kind of used to these things coming or hitting and missing and things like this. You know, when it goes that slow, the storm surge alone and the rain is what really has brought this damage to that Gulf region down there. And I don't know if you saw pictures yesterday. Pensacola was completely just flooded in downtown Pensacola. And so we got a lot of good friends down at Scenic Hills down there, Casey and all them. And then all through Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, that whole beach highway is there. And, you know, we definitely need to look out for them and to pray for them, as well as the people over in Louisiana who are still recovering. Raul mentioned that, I guess, Raul, this must be your brother, it was in Lake Charles doing all of that. Just got back from Lake Charles in the Pentecostal area. He's over there, was trying to help you. Yeah. If you've ever been on I-10, kind of going across to Houston from down there south, you pass all these big Pentecostal churches on the side of the interstate. So he was down there, I guess, helping cleaning that out. But Ray Reynolds, who is the youth minister at the Summerdale Church of Christ, that he is, if you don't follow Ray, go ahead and follow him on Facebook, and you can kind of see some of this. They are in need of lots of supplies.
Correct. And we want to go ahead and mention some of these things they needed. They've asked for bottled water, for bread, for ice, for cleaning supplies, generators, gasoline, non-perishable foods like canned foods, paper goods, paper plates, napkins, forks, napkins, said napkins before, cups, and tarps. So these are things, I would assume this is something that both Summerdale needs, but also these other congregations as well. It's just something that's needed right now. Used to, when there was stuff, and we remember back in the day, I say back in the day, wasn't that long ago, with Texas and Florida dealing with different storms, that people rushed down there and wanted to help, and they're kind of, you know, in the way. There's a schedule for these things. I think we've learned this over the year. There's a schedule for these things. We want to do this in the proper way. The best way to do this in the right way is to contact someone there and find out what they need right now. And this is what we've done. We've made a list of things they need right now. And they also have a PayPal account that you can make donations to help them get these things. So if it's where you are an individual, or maybe you're not necessarily attached or close to your elders, where you can make this request and send for the church that you want to make a donation, you can do that. That is listed if you watch the show or can get access to the show in the show notes there, as you see, as it pops up right there, right in between me and John. How perfect is that? What a great.
That is. Well, and here's the thing, Paul, what you said is absolutely correct. If you're at a church, if you're looking at trying to figure out ways to help, contact a congregation. We have lots of connections from Pensacola, some through Mobile, on up that way through Gulf Shores, on up to further up I-65 there, and some of those things that went through. There's a lot of places along the way that we can help you with and find people to get you in contact with. And so please don't just rush down there without contacting somebody. Please contact them, find out exactly what's needed. And remember, they're still without power. I think there was over 500,000 people in that area that was without power. And so, and there's a lot of things that are messed up. So please help all of our brethren out that you can, whether it's through financial or through physical, helping clean up and rebuild and restart.
Yeah, and shout out to Robert Tips, one of the ministers at the Kensington Woods congregation, Hattiesburg. He's down there right now with chainsaw working and doing some stuff. Also, shout out to Cody Michaels, of course, who's probably driving the truck that took the Decatur Church of Christ.
He probably is
down there, and I want to throw a shout out to Jerry Sperlin, my uncle, and Ginger, and then Jonathan and Katie, and family. They're down there as well. So y'all be careful, be safe.
Absolutely. And if you got any questions, please contact us. We will help you if you need to. We got people. Big one you can contact in Pensacola area is Casey Crawford. In that Mobile area, you got people at Spanish Fort. You got people at Robertsdale. You got people at Summerdale. Like I said, Ray Reynolds down there. And let's help rebuild where we're at. Eastern Shore is down there that I'm sure probably going to need some help too in rebuilding. All across that panhandle. Milton, Florida, Casey Bearden is down there, which is just outside of Pensacola. So let's get together and let's help our brethren out. And
as Raul tells us, they need a lot of volunteers. So if it's where you can load up and head down there, contact them first and know where's supposed to go and do that. But John alluded to this earlier. If you can't reach someone on the phone, don't be shocked. Don't assume the worst. It's simply because cell phone tower could be down. You know, that Ray told us yesterday. He internet and cell phone coverage is at a premium right now because it's not doing well, and so they're trying to reestablish that stuff. In fact, I think they fed lunch or breakfast yesterday to the power company. They're out there working on Highway 59. So
we had the Red Cross sitting here doing a staging area down Atlanta Highway. They were getting ready to head out yesterday from here in Montgomery. So a lot of things going on. I'll tell you, Paul, we got and I hate it for our brethren down in Pensacola, but because it went so and Gulf Shores, because it went so slow, it saved us a little bit here in Montgomery from taking a direct hit from it. And went a little bit south of us, but we have some debris. I got debris in my yard. I haven't cleaned it up yet, but and some limbs and big branches down and stuff like that I got to go take care of. But, you know, I haven't heard any death toll from this. So, you know, it looks like people survived it. So that's good. You know, property can be fixed. Things can be cleaned up, but loss of life can't. And so let's come together.
Especially for those that may not be, you know, to get biblical, maybe they are not of the household of faith. And maybe we have an opportunity to really make a difference in the life of someone and have an opportunity to study the Bible with them.
Absolutely.
It's about service and sharing God's word.
You're right.
So definitely need on that. Caleb, in conjunction with this, and I did not know they can't hear you. I wish they could. But do we need to introduce the thing we talked about earlier? Okay. You want to say it and I'll repeat it, or how do you want to do that? Can you get on here and say something?
I think they can hear me now. We have actually 2 new podcasts coming on this week. One of them is the Unify podcast that Cody Michael is putting out, and with the help of disaster relief and the Decatur disaster relief and a number of other groups and congregations that are involved in this, they're starting a sort of a working together group and trying to help each other in areas that each one is specifically more capable, maybe so in certain areas than in other areas. And so they're working together to do disaster relief, but they're going to be doing a podcast highlighting the different works and how they work together and highlighting some of the places that they go and some of the people that they help. And so kind of a more of a almost like a reality show kind of thing of following people around and kind of being a part of this disaster relief. And so it's going to be a very interesting and informative podcast that helps our audience and various ones know about the different works that they can be a part of and the different things that are going on in the Brotherhood. And then the second podcast that's coming on is the Not Just Sundays podcast out of the West End congregation in Knoxville. Jeremy Weekly and Billy Bearden are doing that and doing a great job, and they've got a lot of folks tuning in to their podcast of trying to live out the sermon not just on Sundays, but in the rest of your life. And so a very practical application series.
That's awesome.
I'm so glad I didn't have to repeat all that.
I'm so glad, Paul, that you didn't have to wait and listen to him to say it.
I always thought that they could hear Caleb. I always thought that. I thought, it's like the morning drive. You got your guys at the table, but your producer is about as much a part of it as everybody else, and he, throws some zings every now and then to keep everybody alive. And I thought, well, that's our zing guy. So.
Oh man, but hey, that's great. Make sure you pay attention to those new podcasts that are coming out with Cody and the guys from up there at West End, and we're excited about that. And we got a lot of things on Ministry League to be able to pay attention to and to listen. Just kind of brighten your day, kind of get you some good.
I gotta get with Frodo. We gotta make some pictures. We gotta update the page. I mean, this Ministry League.
I got hair.
You have hair. That's good. Yeah, you have hair. Okay. Hey, what's funny is John and Caleb and I are like three phases of a true person of a male. because Caleb's hair is like a baby's head, right? But it also is, no offense, it's an old man's head. It's bald. It's what it is. It's got a little peach fuzz, and then John has this. Just Wolfman hair happening that everybody wishes they had. And then I got the whole towards, I'm kind of between John and Caleb.
You're kind of in betweener.
I'm not quite at Caleb yet. I'm getting close, but I'm definitely used to be where John was. But, it's kind of like one of those things. So,
well, my hair lady said I don't have to worry about going bald.
That is nice for you.
Just turning gray.
Very nice for you. I honestly, and we've definitely transitioned into another part of the show, and so here we go. I wonder how I would look bald.
Ooh.
I've been bald before.
Ooh.
When I was in the Navy, obviously they gave me a trim, and so it was okay. It wasn't my favorite, because I was in high school and growing up. I was an Elvis fan, right? And so pictures of me in high school has the big hair.
You did. You had a big hair.
I had it in college. It was the same college. And so it's weird. It's so weird because in college, John had no hair.
That's true. I shaved it off.
It was like he was in the military. And I felt like crazy. And then when I went to the Navy, it left me. And my dad, true story, my dad, he went in the Army during the Vietnam days and served his country in the United States Army. And he got his hair zapped when he went in, and it never came back. So I can tell you the anxiety that I was feeling when I sat in that chair. They've already put 4 or 5, needles in my arms and that stuff. But then when they took my hair off, I'm thinking, my dad lost his hair, never came back after this. What's going to happen to me?
Raul, see now Raul's one that's special too with all that. He said God made a bunch of beautiful heads, the rest he covered with hair. Yeah, I need all the help I can get, Raul. I'll admit that. I'll definitely admit that.
But see, being a Superman fan, baldness isn't an option for me because it means I'm the bad guy. Can't do that.
That's true.
But I'm definitely not a wig guy. I'm a hat guy. I see Caleb, and I'm not making fun. I'm joining in the crowd here. Occasionally I'll see Caleb wear a hat. Not often. If I had no hair, I would be the hat king. I mean, the visor, the hat, the cover it up, the go, and but right now I can't because if I wear it, it wears where hair is, and it kind of pushes me towards the baldness. So I think the hat makes that. Look at baseball players. How many baseball players do you know that has like voluptuous hair going crazy?
Well, I think I got about another 6 months on this hair growth journey.
When was the last time you got your hair cut?
I had it trimmed, kind of like taking the thickness out about 6 weeks ago. Last time I had a real haircut was right before CYC in February.
Okay. So, folks, this is what we talk about in the Ministry League. We talk about our hair stuff.
What's next, Paul?
Well, the next thing, John, is we have a couple of new. Let's go ahead and introduce some new segments we're about to get into. Yep. And the first one have to do with you and your, I almost said your trials and your trips that you'll be taking and you have been taking. As John works for the Lads Leaders program, he'll go on the road and promote Lads to Leaders. And
that's right.
spare time. And so he does this and helps us all out and spreading the good word about that good and great, wonderful program, which, by the way, if you are unfamiliar with it, where have you been living? But it is, give them the website here, John. Give them some information about Lads Leaders.
Hey, everybody, if you are interested in Lads Leaders, we would love to be able to talk to you. Go to ladsleaders.com. I'd love to talk to you. You can email me. You can call me at the office. You can call me on my cell phone. I probably won't answer on my cell phone, but I will get back to you eventually. But yeah, go to ladsleaders.com. Would love to be able to talk to you, especially with everybody trying to get back involved with their local congregation and getting back from the COVID things. And I know some people still aren't meeting for Bible classes. We're still not meeting for Bible classes where I attend. And so some people are starting to. So we'd love to come back out and help and talk. In fact, I got to go back out to a place, which I will not say because it's part of our show, the first Sunday in November.
There we go. And so we need a good name for this. All I got is, where in the world is John Podaddy?
Yeah.
A cool name. So if people come up with another name, get us a logo and everybody gets to guess where John is. And what we're going to do is we're going to let John sort of be somewhere near something to kind of show where he's at.
That's true.
Yeah, it could be in front of a church building. Don't show the city or the state, but on the sign, but where they are, we could. It could
be a landmark.
A landmark,
like a landmark of some sort. Like if I just happen to be next to a river and there's like a lady that's green with holding a flame in her hand and like a tablet in another hand, you would automatically think I'm in New York.
Maybe,
or the Vulcan,
or Las Vegas,
or the Vulcan.
Vulcan. But Las Vegas has a miniature of the Lady Liberty. So there's that. Other things to think about as we get coming in November. Obviously, there's a vote to be had. We do want to say it's your right to vote. Please do that. Whatever your choice may be, utilize your rights to be a citizen of this great country. A lot of people have lived and died to provide that freedom. And so enjoy that above all else. God found a way to put us here in this place where we have these freedoms. So thanks to God for that, obviously. So John, that's one of the segments. Another segment that we're going to do, and I don't know if we'll do this. I was kind of playing, but what is Paul building? We can do that. We can talk with Paul building. So I have I'm building stuff, and Caleb just gave me a great idea. I may start working on building foyer tables, like family tables you'd put in a foyer and you put your bulletins on stuff. So things like that. Farmhouse style stuff is what I build. I've got a couple of things happening. One of Veronica's sisters actually is one of my customers right now. And so I'll be delivering her a table very soon. Just finished it. We're painting it. So it's kind of fun. And what I'm going to do is we're going to have sort of a Bible message to go with the building of a thing. And so we may end up being a spinoff of what we're doing here, and hopefully that'll be something that can help people out.
Paul's going to have a building with Paul.
Yeah, we'll do something.
That'll be awesome.
But another segment that we do right now, John, is about sports. So,
can we fix it? Yes, we can. Paul the build. Please. Can I make you up a theme song?
Yes, you can make me a jingle.
Raul, when next time I see you, you and I we're gonna sing the song Paul the Builder. We're gonna create that song for Paul.
Tyler already calls me Hank. We gotta do something else.
Yes.
We're doing this stuff for entertainment purposes. We're in the church. We're going to deal with a pandemic and other things. We want to laugh.
Yeah.
We want to have stuff and have things that will help and edify and build up. And so that's kind of what we're talking about. But we do have another type segment we'd like to get into. I guess we call it trash on the table. We call it college football because it is a mess right now. Trying to find.
Is it a mess?
I mean,
yes, it's a mess.
It's a mess. So there was this drama. It's almost a soap opera called the Big Ten. Whether they come back now, they're wanting to come back. What is it, 26th of October? And they think they're going to get it in. I don't see it.
8-game schedule.
I don't think that every team is going to play, and I don't understand how they think they're going to be able to play enough games to even register to be in the top 25. But here we go, John. Take it away.
Hey, have you seen? Let me ask you this: Have anybody out there seen the new? They just released it this morning. SEC shorts that's come out. The one and they were talking about the Big Ten. Okay, so we said some things that started. What's funny is out of all this whole situation, they're like, "Oh, everybody's going to follow us and do this," and they canceled, jumped the gun. I have no problem with them revisiting everything, but kind of jumped the gun, caused a big outcry. What I can't believe is watching the Pac 12, 10, 12, 14, however many is out there now, the Pac 12, and the MAC are like, oh, Big Ten's going back. Oh, we've got to go back. We've got to figure a way to go back and do this now. And now everybody wants to jump to the thing because guess what? College football is going on. Are there challenges? Yes, there are challenges. You got people that are already having to reschedule games because of COVID. And that's the thing that's going to happen with the Big Ten, Paul. There's an 8-game schedule. There are 0 buys. They have to go from October 26th or whatever that last Saturday is in there. They have to go straight through the 24th, I think is what it is. They have to go straight through till I think they end the championship games December 19th, the day before the college football playoff selection committee comes together and does the thing.
UNC lost a game because of a cancellation this Saturday.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they lost a game. They won't be able to redo it. And so that's just a game they lost.
Yeah. And so they're taking a risk. SEC's taking a risk starting so late. At least there's a couple of buys in there. The ACC, I got to say, probably did it the smartest. They have 3 buys built in so they can move some things around. And I actually think that's pretty smart of them to be able to go and do that in that way. And it's almost like dividing the season in thirds to be able to make up some games or move some games that they need to do it. It's not going to be perfect, but the games are out. And, hey, this way, when it comes to college football playoff time and the national championship, whoever wins it, nobody can say, oh, they only did it. There's an asterisk there because of the COVID situation.
Was that a California person? You sound like you were talking like that.
Yeah, because I can't do a person from Ohio or Michigan. Really, it was probably my Bill Clinton.
That was your Bill Clinton?
I don't know. It just popped out there.
That would have thought.
Impression.
We should do an impression show. We should get people taking impressions to come on the show. That would be kind of fun.
Well, let me ask you this. What do you think so far of the college football season? And how it's pulled through?
But they weren't even talking about it. The Big Ten is the one who basically started this to go away. Pac-12 was fine with not. But
well, and I'll say this, Pac-12 is not only do they have a COVID situation, but they also got the fire situation out in California and Washington and Oregon. They got air breathability issues out there. So
between that and between pandemic and closing down schools and closing down practice and canceling games because of COVID, because of players, you know, this game this Saturday, UNC was supposed to play. It was over one player, and why do you do that? I don't understand. But they did it. They canceled it out. The SEC right now, as far as I can see, seems to be handling the best. Of course, they haven't started yet. They were very wise to wait to the 26th. But I really think conferences that are wanting to start middle October, first of all, Big Ten and Pac-12. Well, will not have.
I haven't seen whatever the Pac-12. I think that's why they're trying to get 8 games, because I guess 8 games is what. No, they need 6 to technically be bowl eligible. But that's why I think they're trying to play the 8 games. The issue is, and I haven't seen Pac-12. The Big 12, the Big Ten's requirements with COVID are so strenuous that it's going to be almost impossible for teams to play. Basically, if I think it is, if 5% of the team comes down with COVID, that whole team is quarantined for the next 21 days. That's 3 weeks. That is 3 games gone immediately right off the bat.
One time they're out.
Yes. Yeah.
I really think it doesn't matter. And you know why they're doing this? They kept talking about the spring season. The spring season's garbage. There's no way that was going to happen or anybody would have cared. It's basically spring training. And so that wasn't going to happen. That's why they're rushing to get in here now. Of course, Michigan and Ohio State and Penn State and Nebraska. And sorry, Caleb, but I understand why Nebraska cares because they're definitely not there yet. But
absolutely.
They are because they think they have that shot. The talk before was the hybrid of can we jump in these other conferences? And honestly, that's what should have happened. Because right now you're forcing other institutions to compete, and they're asking them to compete because they're going out anyway. You got head coaches and players who've opted out, who have signed with agents that now they're saying they can come back. It's unprecedented, but the whole thing is unprecedented. It's a big mess, and here we go.
Well, if it was not, and look, the Nebraskas and the Ohio States, Big Ten fans, you need to go and thank them. Yeah. Because if it was not for them, you wouldn't be playing football this fall. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And I think the thing is, though, Paul, people can see. Now, I haven't liked the fake piping in of the fans. I mean, I know why they're doing it because I did watch the Navy BYU game, and there was no piped in anything, and it was just sounded. I'm like, anybody going to cheer for anything?
BYU practice.
Yeah, I know it was. But I think what people are going to see, it will not surprise me, Paul, by the end of the season, if you see stands, if they release the stands to come back at least to be to 50 to 60% full by the end of the season, because you're seeing it in other sports already. You're seeing it in NASCAR. You're seeing it, and those are outdoor events. You're not seeing it in the NBA and things like this, but you're starting to see some of these things take place. And that's what I think you will see with college football.
I like Tyler's comment.
Oh, I know. That was hilarious. Tyler said K-State, Iowa State, and KU all decided not to play the first game. Can you believe it? I just sorry. Kansas, I'm so sorry. I've got to rag on you. Coastal Carolina 2 years in a row.
Go Josh Caraway. That's all
and this game,
Caraway.
This game wasn't even close. Coastal Carolina just took them to the woodshed. And I can't believe that. But in fact, Paul, I will admit where I'm going next week, so I can't tell anybody. I did look up to see if there was any football games being played that I can buy tickets to go and see.
John, are you looking at the stream?
Oh, let me see. Let me see this. Let me see this screen.
I cannot wait. That's so awesome.
No. What if I got me a shirt like that and I started wearing a shirt like that? Well, and look, and the Big 12 here, we'll give Tyler some love here. Oklahoma looks like the team that's definitely going to run away with the Big 12 and put themselves in a spot to be able to do the stuff. I'm excited to see. Everybody's excited to see what the SEC is going to look like coming back out in here.
Alabama is favored by 28 points against Missouri.
Well, I don't think that game's going to be played, is it?
In Missouri. Why not?
I think because Missouri had a COVID outbreak. It may not be played.
Well, that clears up my September 26th. Could make a delivery that day, probably.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Florida opens with Ole Miss in Ole Miss, in Mississippi.
Okay. I mean, that's going to be. I don't know.
I ain't worried about that.
They got what was it? Plumlee? Is he still there?
Yeah, I can't remember. Look, either Florida is going to live up to its hype, or it's going to seriously crash. There's not any.
People are picking a 8-2, 9-1 type season for Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And some are saying they're going to beat Georgia outright.
Well, Georgia's got a lot of issues. Georgia may have more talent on the roster, as far as the recruiting court sites say. But
the defense is going to be ready. Georgia's defense is going to be ready.
It'll be ready.
The situation, everybody thinks it's off because what J.B. Newman decided to go pro, which I don't know. Why do you go from Wake Forest to pro? I don't understand. But with Mathis, they're doing very well, by the way. Mm-hmm. And JT Daniels not even qualified to even play yet. I still think that the quarterback situation isn't really a big situation. But did you hear about the uniform changes?
I just saw something about Georgia's going to go black.
Well, it's a black jersey, but the lining of the neck is like a dog chain. It's like a dog chain on the neck of the jersey. So that should be fun to watch. I don't understand why Georgia ever would want to wear a black jersey. If you look at history,
Oh, I know.
It does not go well for them.
Oh, I know. Oh, I do got. Okay, Paul, I do got to say this. You froze up, by the way, all of a sudden. I don't know why.
Oh, man.
Yeah, your audio is good. You may have to start your don't go out. Never mind, just leave that alone. But I do got to ask you, Paul, and I wish my good friend Jeremy Hynott was watching this right now. I do got to say, because Tyler said Florida won't be the worst team in the state, regardless of what happens. Oh, you're back, Paul. The Florida State just debacle against Georgia Tech.
Heard about that. I also heard that. Are they firing or they fire their head coach yet?
Not yet, but they have a bunch of people jumping ship right now and getting into the Caleb just trying to add Jeremy to this.
I heard that they're seeking out Neon Dion to be their next head coach.
They are.
Yeah.
They are. Oh,
I don't know why they do that from the beginning. I don't understand.
Oh man, I'm not taking any. You should have known something was up when I think they were trying to sell 20,000 tickets. They only sold 16,000 to come to the game, and and a lot of people are upset with their fans because there was definitely no social distancing going out in there. And like Florida, I don't know what Alabama's going to do, but Florida, they have assigned sections and seats, and you have to sit there, or if you don't, they're going to escort you out.
Yeah, that's how it is at Bryant Denny.
Yeah,
they started with some students, but also some boosters.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 25,000 seats. Yeah, and so, but they did kind of what the VBC did in their arena. They zipped off chairs, so there are only chairs there for those seats, and so there's no choice.
Gotcha.
That's what I heard.
And schools are doing different things, and hey, I'm just happy the schools are doing something, all doing different things in there. So, hey, I'm excited to see what this college football season is going to do. Give it up for the Braves. The Braves are still number one in the National League East.
All right.
I mean, they're like,
but it's winding down, John. We got a week and a half left in the season, and so we're looking. Some teams have already clinched.
Yeah, we need the Braves to clinch.
Yeah, we do need that. I think we need 2 more wins. I think
something. I can't remember. A few days ago it was 9 games. I don't remember what it is now. But hey, give it up for Major League Baseball. They've come through, and the thing that you're seeing now with the testing, Paul, is you're seeing these teams come back, and they're not. Who was it? What? And this was the football game that nobody came back. Oh, it was the Chiefs. The Chiefs. Who did the Chiefs open up the season with? Houston. The Texans. They came back 0 transmission. No positive COVID test. So you're seeing that it can be done. These games, it's not necessarily the players. It'll probably be the fans.
Are you talking people who attended or what?
I'm talking players.
Okay.
I'm talking players. And so
pretty well in the stadium. I mean, it was pretty sparse.
Yeah. And so, it's exciting to see that this is happening and people are coming back. So people just be smart. If you're going to a game, be smart. Don't be that person that's going to help bring all this to a close and to an end. And let's be smart. Same thing with exposure coming up. Let's be smart about how we handle things.
So I had a text from an individual who attends exposure who has given me and asked me 6 different questions.
Okay.
Do we want to answer these? I haven't even read them all.
Make sure you read it before you announce it out loud. But shoot, let's go for it.
Read what was sent to me.
Okay.
You said she, so you already know who sent it to me. This is a teenager.
Okay.
So they're asking a few questions. Number 1, how are we going to social distance during team time, classes, worship, and the atrium singing ? I'm just reading the questions, John. Okay.
Okay.
Number 2, are we going to wear masks? I can say yes.
Yes, that'll be because that's a requirement with the state of Alabama.
Yeah, we're going to follow the law.
Yeah.
Number 3, will it be like usual? No, it will not be like usual. I don't know what that question is asking, but that I can tell you it's not going to be like it usually is. Number 4, will we have a different schedule this year? I can say that's a yes. There will be some changes to that. Maybe not too much, but some. Number 5, and will people be allowed to go down during invitation songs? That's a good question. The next question is, have another question. Are we going to have to wear masks during worship at exposure? We will be wearing masks at exposure. Any comments to any of this that we've been given on this?
Well, I think some of it for the person that wrote this in and for people who are listening, some of it we can't answer yet because we don't know. If we had to do certain things today, probably the answers would be no on certain things like the invitation going forward. Probably that's one of the things we're talking about. We probably won't have the invitation in the traditional way if we were to have it today.
Yeah.
I
think to that point, let's communicate to people how this works in case you don't come to exposure and haven't experienced how this works. Our entire front floor is open because we know it's usually flooded by not just young people, but adults too, who respond to invitation, whose youth groups usually follow them down there, sit down with them, support them, pray with them and over them. And so it's the front is flooded with people. And obviously the past, we haven't worried about distancing. So yeah, I think definitely you can expect the invitation. We're going to offer the invitation. That's what we're supposed to do. But it will be different. And the way in which it's distributed and handled will be different.
Right. And some of the things, once again, if we were to have exposure today, there would not be an atrium singing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because, as Paul likes to say, I'd be dead.
Yeah, we'd be giving him 1,000 pounds of COVID.
I'll be at the bottom of the floor and everybody up on all the things. And
we might want to go ahead and prepare everybody just since you're here. And I hate we've come down to the end of the show and we're sharing this. But, I mean, don't be shocked if there's not an atrium singing like we've known it in the past. Don't be shocked by that. Prepare yourself for that.
We may try to do something different. I mean, we may get in the worship assembly area and get in a giant circle. I don't know. You know what I mean? There will be other things that we will try to do. And that's where we can't answer some of these things until we get closer to date. The mask thing right now, it's a state order. So yes, there will be masks that will be present. Far as when and where to wear them, that's some of the things that are still yet to be seen.
Something else to consider too. We have health professionals that have been put together to join and put together a task force to make sure we're doing this right according to the state and city, county, country laws. We're going to follow the law. We're going to do it right. If we have to distance, we're going to distance the right way. And so we have people that are in that area of expertise, doctors and nurses, that are helping us put a plan together. But also for those of you, please be prepared. Everyone's going to have to sign a waiver, things like that. So things will be a little different. We as Exposure Youth Camp have to protect ourselves. You and your congregation, you want to protect your kids. And so we're wanting to be this to be a good thing for everybody.
We are going to attempt to make exposure seem like exposure that you know, but there will be changes. There will be some differences, at least for this year. And so once we get closer, we will let everybody know what it's going to look like.
Absolutely. And the next question is, I don't have Facebook to watch and get these answers. Is there anywhere else I can watch the show? I feel confident you can go to YouTube, go to the Ministry League, and do that. And so with that, John, if you don't mind, I'll sort of pay the bills at the end here.
Well, Paul?
Well, John, this has been the John and Paul Show brought to you by the Ministry League. You can find us on the website at ministryleague.com. For all of your exposure, anything we do, updates, go to ministryleague.com, sign up for the newsletter and get that every month. We send that out. Also check in for updates on things there and also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Ministry League. For the Ministry League and for the Palisades Church of Christ, the LJ Church of Christ, the Lads Leaders Program, This has been the John and Paul Show. Thank you to Caleb for producing this as usual. As always, thank you so much. And to all those who are hurting and needing that help from Storm Sally, please, 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 please help. Please donate. Please pray. And please do what we can do to help them in every possible way. Thank you for being here for the John Paul Show. For John Podine, I'm Paul Sperlin. Have a great week. Be safe. Be positive. God bless.